I saw my granny and noticed she had a suppository in her ear, and I thought it was some kind of home remedy. And I said, "Granny, why in the world do you have a suppository in your ear?" And she said,
good morning from the Old Man Hiking Club. This is Saturday, May 17th, and we have with us today special guest, Carl.
"I'm back."
Carl, we have not seen you in 3 years on the trail. For those new subscribers that don't know who you are, give everybody an update of what's been going on.
Well, I went to Maine with Al. That was the last trip that I took, and then my mom was at the end of life, so I had to pretty much stay with her and take care of her for the last 2 years. So.
Okay. And she's passed?
Yep, she passed away in October.
And so Carl was actually going to come on some hikes with us earlier in the year, but you got sick.
Mm-hmm.
You got COVID.
Yeah.
So
immune system just went straight down.
Went down the toilet. But he is back. This is his first hike in almost 3 years. So we are here in Virginia. We are at a trailhead called Fox Creek Access, or Frozen Creek Access. And we're going to do 18 miles hiking the AT southbound. We're going through Grayson Highlands, so we'll get to see some ponies. We're going to camp in Grayson Highlands. And the rain has cleared out, and it looks like it might be a nice day.
But the trip up here, the storm damage from Helene was shocking. There's so much debris in this section of Virginia and western North Carolina, and I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of damage on the trail.
Yeah, we see road repair, bridge repair, fairly new.
Yeah. So we parked our car at Elk Garden parking lot. We had a shuttle driver bring us up here and drop us off. So we're getting ready to head southbound. So you ready to hike on?
Ready to hike on, brother.
Hike on.
I don't know if you can hear this, but if you listen carefully, you can hear water running underneath the ground here. All right, we're about a mile and a half into the hike this morning, and we made it to Old Orchard Shelter. Just left the Old Orchard Shelter, ran into a AT northbound thru hiker. His trail name, well, let me give you the backstory. He was from Canada, and his hiking tag, you get a hiking tag number. His hiking tag number was 2112. Therefore, his trail name was Rush. Those of you my age, maybe even a little younger, would understand what that means. For those of you that don't, or older people, like my mom, the Rush is a band from Canada. Very popular, big band. So he goes by the trail name Rush, which we thought was very fitting. Continuing a uphill rock scramble. The initial weather report for the day was rain and thunderstorms. Thankfully, the weathermen are usually wrong. There was a good bit of rain driving here this morning. Our trail conditions are a little sloppy. So far the feet are dry, but it's becoming a challenge to keep them dry. Trail is dried up a little bit, which is great. My feet are still dry, so that's awesome. We're about a mile away from a place called Scales. We've been here many times. Scales has shown up in many videos, so it's not anything new, but we'll probably stop there for lunch. So this is Scales. We have been here many times. The AT goes right out that gate right there. People can drive down here, camp. We're gonna go up here and check out some ponies. Looks like we got a baby here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ponies. 3 babies. So 4 miles into the trail, how do you feel?
It's beautiful today. I'm very glad I came out here. It's windy, but the sunshine feels great, and the area that we went through was very scenic.
Yeah.
That was a nice spot to go through. So.
How's your body feel?
I'm not in shape. Beat up already, but it's a nice day.
Yeah,
it's
gorgeous.
And you already see the
ponies.
the Shetland ponies.
We're getting ready to check them out.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
We got on top of this ridge, and the wind is really kicking. Talking to other hikers, they said it was a torrential dumping last night of rain, as evident by our trail, which is currently a creek. All right, we're about a half a mile away from the Wise shelter, and we'll probably stop and resupply water there, but after the Wise, we have this to climb. Getting ready to get to the Wise shelter, but there's a water source before the shelter, and all these rocks, big giant boulder here, big giant boulder here, all these little rocks here were not here last year. That was all washed downstream from the hurricane. It's really quite devastating to see what the hurricane did. All right, we have hit the Wise shelter. We're gonna use privies and get back on the trail. We are getting ready to go up Wilburn Ridge, and hopefully we get to see some more ponies. Reached the top of Wilburn Ridge.
Wow.
And we are going Appalachian Trail southbound. We've been in Grayson Highlands a couple miles now, but we've reached the top of Wilburn Ridge, and this is where it gets good. Get all these crazy rock formations. The sights in Grayson Highlands are fantastic. It's one of my favorite parks. Wow, we have found the mother lode of ponies. Must be 10, 12 ponies out here. These are just glorious views in Grayson Highlands. I love it here. So going outside this gate, we will then be outside of Grayson Highlands. And we are now entering Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. Continuing southbound. Views are getting better. So is the wind gusts. We're estimating 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. We ran into some people and they said it was 50 to 60 where we're going. Give you a little bit of an idea of the wind gusts. I don't think I've never come to Grayson Highlands and not have some sort of weather event. It's crazy, man. It's blowing. There's rugged and there's Grayson Highlands rugged. We have slowed to a crawl. I'm not even sure we're making a mile an hour. This is the entrance to Fat Man Squeeze. Can we make it through? Woohoo!
Ta-da!
What'd you think? Bring back fond
I'm
memories?
fat. I barely squeezed through. Good gosh, that was fun. Yeah, Boy Scout memories.
I don't think I'm going to get a selfie with the bull. This is probably about as close as I'm going to get. But I forgot, they also have longhorn steer up here grazing. Look at the set of horns on this thing. It is stunning up here. Just stunning.
So we're at the mile 12 and a half, and we are struggling to find a place to camp. Every campsite we've come to is full of people. Full. No place for us to camp. So we're going to go down to the shelter, and we may stay in the shelter, or we may try to find a place past the shelter to camp. So hopefully we can find somewhere to camp, or we may be hiking to the car. So we ended up coming to Thomas Knob Shelter. I have never seen Grayson Highlands so full of people before in my life. All the campsites that we were planning to camp at were full of people. Past the shelter is full of people. There's like 5 people staying in the shelter, so there's room for Carl and myself. So that's what we're gonna do. But there's so many people around there, I'm not gonna film around there. But we're getting camp set up. The shelter might not be a bad place tonight because it's gonna block a lot of this wind. Somebody was telling us that with the weather report that the weather was supposed to get windier, 50 to 60 mile wind gusts tonight. So the shelter might be the best option. So if I don't get back to you later, we'll see you in the morning, but yeah, I might get back to you later. So we are set up in the shelter. We're in there with, what, 4 other people?
There were no campsites.
Yeah, no campsites. This place is packed with people.
A lot of Boy Scouts.
A lot of scouts up here training for Philmont. So how was your day?
It's going to be a while to get back into this, but
Yeah.
I did it.
You did it.
That was a good thing.
You didn't quit.
No.
Only whimpered a little bit.
I think that was more like a strain. The sound of straining.
A pulled muscle.
Yeah,
All right,
groin muscle.
The wind is whipping, and when that sun goes down, it is going to get cold. The wind chill is going to drop it. So,
Yeah, the wind on the balls, it had to be 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
we couldn't stand up
It was
straight,
blowing
so,
me sideways.
Yeah. So we're going to see what kind of sleep we get, and we'll do it again in the morning.
We can always spoon.
Good night.
Good night.
Good morning. It is Sunday, May 18th, and it got cold last night. That wind was whipping. The shelter here has metal roofing on it, and the wind was blowing so hard it was lifting the metal up, and then it would bang back down on the roof of the building. And it's a double decker, so there was people upstairs, and then Carl and I were downstairs. So it's pretty chilly this morning, but we're eating. This is the shelter here. What you got, Carl? What you eating?
Got a Cliff Bar.
Cliff Bar.
Mm-hmm.
How is
Cliff
it?
did a good job.
Cliff did a good job. I gotta show you what I got. I found this in the store the other day. I got me a 710 calorie tasty cake honey bun. You can see it there. 710 calories, man. That thing's gonna fuel me to the car. We got 4 miles to the car, so let's eat breakfast and hit the trail. These are our mountain views this morning. It is just spectacular. All right, we're about 1.5 miles into the day. 2.5 miles left to go. And right now we've just got a little walk in the woods. And the wind is still howling out here. So it's cold. That wind chill makes it colder than it really is. Check out this tree just growing out of the side of the rock. Roots wrapped around the rock.
I saw my granny and noticed she had a suppository in her ear, and I thought it was some kind of home remedy. And I said, "Granny, why in the world do you have a suppository in your ear?" And she said, "Oh, Lord, child, you ain't gonna believe where my hearing aid is."
Coming out of the woods, we got a nice little clearing here. Got a nice view over here of the mountain. Another beautiful day. How about coming out of the woods to this? If you watch the grass, the wind is still whipping down here. Off in the distance is Elk Garden, where we got our car parked. Made it back to Elk Garden, and as you can see, this is a very popular trailhead. It was a great weekend to be out on a hike. All right, here we go for the big finish. Done. All right, Carl, what'd you think of your first hikes in 3 years?
It was a picture postcard, beautiful hike, beautiful scenery this time of year. Wind beat us, and the wind was really cold last night. But
Yeah.
today, the sunshine, I felt like a lizard on a rock. It felt so good. And it was just a nice hike down.
Yeah.
Real beautiful. I'm glad I came back to Grayson as my first hike back. So it was wonderful.
So this will end our hike. My watch says 17.54 miles for the hike. Great weekend. Everything Carl said I concur with and agree with. Love Grayson Highlands, one of my favorite state park. So let's go find us a Mexican. All right, we are here in Lenore at Dos Amigos. And our first impression right off the bat is this is going to be something good. They brought us our chips. They gave us 4 different dipping sauces, and I could not find a parking space in the parking lot, so that means it's very well liked in the community.
Oh yeah.
So-
And I ordered a water on Sunday. He done did it again.
All right, Carl, what'd you get?
I got the enchilada suprema. It's beef, chicken, bean, and cheese enchiladas. That's so good.
All right, I got the Polo Pollo San Jose.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're going to eat this, and we'll give you a review at the end. All right, Dos Amigos. That was some good stuff. Carl, what's your review?
Well, the enchiladas I had, they were perfect, and it was a great big serving too. It was plenty of food, so I give them 4 out of 5 jalapenos.
Oh, we have a new rating system.
It's a 4 jalapeno dinner.
I like it. My meal was outstanding, and the fact that we got 4 sauces to choose from for dip and chip.
Yes.
This also gets a 4.5
Yeah.
jalapeno.
The mango salsa was excellent, and the white salsa,
Yeah.
very good.
So if you're ever in Lenore, Dos Amigos is where you want to come. We
And
knew,
the service was fast,
Yeah.
and they're very friendly.
and we knew it was a good place because we could not find a parking space.
And on Sunday, the water turns into cerveza.
We'll see you next month. Peace out.